How are you feeling today? Today is Tuesday, and welcome to the morning blessing. Good morning, Miss Tess. You're so precious. Good morning, you wonderful, amazing people. Hi, Cyrus. Sorry, I did not see you yesterday. Cyrus, I am emulating you. I am on YouTube over here, TikTok over here, Instagram over there, and I am loving it. Might is not perfect, but I'm doing my best. So thank you. Hello, Ryan. The men are in the room. Make room, ladies. Let them pull a chair and have a seat. So, how are you feeling today? Good morning, Ryan. And it is amazing. I just pinned Stacy's welcome because sometimes I forget. And with all of these different platforms I am on, I forget sometimes to tell you hello and good morning. So, good morning to all my friends on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Let us get the show on the roll. We are amazing, beautiful, and spectacular, and nobody else but us. So, anyway, each one of us have the right to be amazing, beautiful, and spectacular. And hey, there are certain things we must do in life in a certain way. Things are not always done so haphazardly as we are taught to have them done, and tell us that we must multitask. We must do so many things by our hands. But we can paint a picture, decide where we are going, and take a pause. So today, my message to you is the power in taking a pause. Taking a pause indeed. And that is usually very, very hard to do in this world that we are living in. We do not understand taking pauses because we were taught and you do some more. But what I found out for sure, and from those that have taught to pause after a particular task, even if it's for 5 minutes, their productions have increased. My production increases. I purposely test myself so that I understand completely what the difference is between taking a pause and going from one thing to another. And at the end of the day, you're spent. You're just exhausted. Sometimes not even the end of the day. By 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you're getting that crushing feeling. I need to lie down. I'm going to take a nap. But if we have just taken that pause for 10 minutes, 5, 7, I don't care, anything below 10, the action is doing it and realizing taking a pause is not taking a pause with your devices in your hand. Taking a pause from doing something is not talking to someone at all. Taking a pause from doing after you have done something is not to get involved with looking around and searching. It is to drink a glass of water. Sit, get your pelvic to rock into the chair and take the mountain pose. What is the mountain pose? Look at a mountain. Look at a mountain. You have a mountain in your eye. You know a mountain somewhere. This thing sits shoulder back and its head is always forward. The mountain does not do that. The wind will do that, but the mountain, the source, the energy, the mountain itself, just firm. And if you have a mountain pose and you take the time to enjoy those few minutes of just sitting in that stillness and silence, emulating the mountain, they say that the highest energy to capture, to pull into you is the energy of a mountain. It is solid, it's difficult, it's challenging, but when you get into the essence of the energy of a mountain, you are immovable. And that is what we taking a pause does. When you have completed, like for example, take me. I teach from my actions and my successes and my not so good successes. So when I'm done with this live, I take a pause. I move away from here. I go sit over there and I just sit. I might inflect on what happened. I might think of how I did. I might remember your greetings, your words to each other, or the statement that you made, the comment that you brought to us. Good morning, Colin. How are you feeling this morning? Morning, Jean. How lovely to see you. And the thing is, when you do that, you will notice when you get up from your mountain sitting pose and you move to the next task, you will be more, you will have that energy. You'll be more you have more vibration. You'll be more in tuned. You will even walk to a particular place in that environment and find something you were looking for because you took the time to pause. Pausing is not a joke. And it's not laziness. Pausing is realizing me, I am here, I have done this. Now I'm going to relax for a few minutes. Now, I take 10 minutes to pause between doing one, creating, reading, writing. I do certain things every day. And I do them in a certain way. So my certain way of doing these things is to pause. You stop. Just stop. I take 10 minutes. So my friend Yuko is a hairdresser. That's her calling. That's her job at home. And she always said to me, by 5 o'clock when I am working, I am exhausted and I could just pass out on the couch. And I do. Okay. So hi, Ezra. Good morning, cousin. How are you feeling today? Good morning, everybody on TikTok and on YouTube. Welcome. And then I said to her, Yuko, why don't you take a pause? She said, well, I can't take 10 minutes between clients. I said, well, you can set it up to take less than 10, but you need a pause between clients. Instead, as soon as this person, if you shift this thing and sit here and you're going. And I said, well, can you spare 5 minutes? Can you set your clients up? Hello, Azim. Oh, Azim's dad. How are you feeling this morning? Welcome to the Morning Blessings, taking a pause. And there I said to Yuko, can you have 5 minutes and sit in that 5 minutes and don't move? Don't do anything. Don't look at your phone. Don't return messages. Just sit in those 5 minutes. And she said, I'm going to try it. So I purposely did not bring it up. And she tried it for a week. And then she called me with a big Yuko smile. And she said, you will not. She said, I did it the first day. And I'm saying, wow, I feel so nice. I feel good. And she said, I couldn't understand why I'm feeling so great. And then it clicked the next day. It's those breaks I'm taking between clients. So she said I had 6 clients. So that means I had 30 minutes of accumulated pause. And that helped me. I felt better, more energized. I was ready for the new client. I wasn't feeling rushed or any of that. So I have been pushing that. I told that to my sister. And as you know, she retired back home on the estate. So she was sitting with her nephew and they were going from one thing to another. And all of a sudden, she remembered I said, take a pause. So she said, she stopped. She went, got 2 bottles of water. She gave one to Brian, one for herself, and they sat. So we know we have to teach. And he said, well, Auntie Dawn, why are you sitting? She said, because you need to pause, Brian. You cannot just gallop through these fields without taking a pause and looking around to see that place that we were gifted with. And hi, sister, I was just talking about you. And then Brian started, he said to her, Auntie Dawn, it's really good to sit and drink a bottle of water for 10 minutes and then go back to doing what you have to do. Next thing I know, she said, I'm busy doing something. Days later, and Brian comes, Auntie Dawn, break time. So, and then we wonder why we were given breaks at work. They told us we need 2 15-minute breaks. I don't know who invented it. 1 in the morning, 1 at night, and 1 and lunch break, and all this. And nobody takes them. They work at the desk. They eat at the desk. And you wonder why your production is low. you're eating at your desk, you're working at your desk, and your production is low. You're skipping your 10-minute break. I cannot take the 10-minute break. I have so much to do. The time you're sitting and talking to someone and telling them that and sending that energy of exhaustion and tiredness and frustration, you could take 5 minutes. I don't care if your boss is out of hell. If who you work for does not believe in it, try it. Take it. Breathe. Walk away from your desk. Go to the washroom, stand there, stare at yourself in a mirror, and compliment yourself for what you have done. Pause in. No one is going to compliment you before they criticize you, especially a boss. They will, hi, Rosalind, good morning. How are you feeling today? Especially, they will say to you, these are all the things you did wrong this week, and these are the things you did well, right? It's an inquisition. You're sitting in the chair and you're being told all these things. But if you have taken a break between the task, between an angry customer, breathe that customer out of you. I know what it is to work in customer service because that's what I do when you're people facing in a bank. I never liked corporate. I didn't want to be there. I love being in the branches. I worked in a branch. And doing this, I came across many personalities. I came across many types of energy. And then there's sometimes when you are done with an energy and it's no fault of yours, and it's maybe no fault of theirs because they didn't have the right information, you can go somewhere and do exactly that and sit. Do not look at the computer, pick up the phone, just close your eye or go outside. Stand at the door for 5 minutes, go to the washroom. As I said, do something without devices and conversation, only with you and your thoughts. And if you guys think this does not work, just try it. Try it for one day today. From now on, make sure you take a pause because there is magic in taking a pause. There is a lot of power in pausing. There are many benefits in pausing. Pausing brings awareness to the forefront, and with that, you're able to make better choices. When we are aware, we win. When we are aware, we win. You cannot be aware without pausing. They go together. Hi, Nancy. Good morning. How are you feeling today? Pausing is magical. The benefit of pausing is that you're bringing the pressure, the heartbeat down. You have been up here producing and doing and working and getting things done. Then all of a sudden, you say, be still, my heart. You're asking your heart to be still. Let's pause. You put yourself back into the chair. Right back into the chair, right? And you put your chest up, shoulders back, head forward, and your arms on your knees. You breathe and you release. You breathe and you release. 3 of those. And then you relax. After you have taken the mountain pose, you might be more comfortable then that's what you do. But you bring yourself into the awareness of the mountain pose. You solidify your pelvic into the chair, pushing yourself back. Make sure your feet touches the ground. And you breathe 3 nice breaths, relaxation. And you can ask your heart to go down. You can tell the heartbeats to slow down. You can ask your blood to course through your veins a little bit more calmly. You can ask your thoughts to come and sit with me a while and just breathe it in. 10 minutes, I do. You don't have to be. Hi, Sue, good morning. Welcome, Sue. You're never too late. And you say 10 minutes, Tessa-Marie does 10 minutes. It is challenging to sit still and muse and contemplate what you have done just now. That is why I purposely ask you to sit back in the chair. Let's sure your bum is all the way back. Wiggle your hip into the chair. Have your feet flat on the floor. And you take 3 deep breaths. Pull your shoulder back and take what is called a mountain pose. The mountain looks forward. The mountain does not care that it has snow on its cap right now. The mountain does not care that it's raining and blistering and icing and water is rushing down. The mountain does not care. The mountain stays focused on forward march. And after you have drawing that energy of the mountain, you can relax yourself for the rest of your time. And everything you do in life, you have to choose a certain way to do it, a certain way that pleases you, that suits you and nobody else. It is important. Hi, Yuko, good morning on YouTube. It is important for you and for me and all of us to do what we do in a certain way that is the best for us. And the only way we can find what is the best way to function as a particular distinctive human being is to learn to pause. When we pause, it's important because we become aware. And when we are aware, we win. We win when we are aware. We do not win if we're not aware. We make mistakes when we're not aware. We rush when we're not aware. We slow ourselves down by our anxiety when we're not aware. Pausing balances us. Pausing, especially capturing the mountain pose before completely letting it go. And sit still, breathe in, and just let that 10 minutes. Yuko does 5. My sister does 10. Choose a number. You have a lot to do in the day. This is so good. I am going to be more aware and conscious of taking breaks. What wonderful self-care. Thank you, Sha. It is important when you feel something, you use that thing. When you hear something, you use that thing. That is good for you. Try it. 10 minutes might not fit you. You have a crying baby. You have people waiting to be fed. You have all of these things to do. But after you prepare dinner and just before they come to eat, what about pulling back and just go sit? Sit. Mountain pose, 3 minutes. I go out in the garden after I have exercised indoors because it's too cold to exercise outside. I do my 30 minutes of workout and then I walk through the house, checking it out, saying the Our Father because I pray. And I walk through my home. Then on the way up, I said, the Lord is my shepherd. And I open the door, turn off the alarm, step onto the patio and walk to the garden. And I stand there because still I have to get ready for now. And I have meditation and writing and visualization and manifestation. I have things to do, gratitude journal to do, my commitment in my goal setting journal to do. So I spent 3 minutes outside. 3. But when I give those 3 minutes to the new energy of this fabulous, amazing day, it's a pause. I sit there or I stand. Most often I stand. Put my timer on and I just allow myself to be absorbed by the songs of the birds that are now starting, although it's like winter out there, or the breeze or the coldness of the wind on my face. The giver of gifts is awake. The giver of gifts comes early in the morning. You take your time to be up and ready to accept, and you're willing to be there on time. The giver of gifts will give it to you. You cannot be late. if you're expecting to receive, because the receiver, the transformer is going to be there. And if you're not there to receive, it has to go. So pausing makes you aware of everything. The sound of the birds chirping, why? You can hear it. The tune is different. The sky looks different. There are more satellite than stars, but yet today it's pink. It's more gray, more blue. Awareness, because I pause. I pause. I look at the pine trees at 110 feet up into the sky and more, and they're going bending. It's like they're bowing to the world and saying, here I come, let me give you something. Where are you? Hello, Miss J Naturals. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Blessings. Where are you if you are not with that energy? You forgot to pause. You missed it. You missed that bright sunrise because you didn't take 2 minutes and look at it from your bedroom window or from your living room window. You did not see it. You had no time to pause when that hummingbird showed up or when the blue jay rests on your porch. Think about it just think about it. What did you miss because you did not pause? What are you gaining because you are pausing? It is endless. You will gain energy because you took the time to pause after you did this. The energy comes to you. The energy says, hello, you're going to be revitalized now. The thing though, we never ever drink sufficient water. We don't. Very, very few of us do it. I am at fault. Yesterday, I did not drink sufficient water. Yuko could testify to that. We had a meeting at 1. And I'm coming to her and I'm yawning. And I said, Yuko, I just didn't drink sufficient water today. I drank 16 ounces of water while talking to her. And in minutes, I was okay because I didn't take the time to pause yesterday. After I prepared my dinner, I just one to the other. So I make the mistakes of what I'm telling you. I sometimes forget because I allow the energy of the world that is outside of me to move me wherever it wants me to go, not where I choose to go. So when we pause, we become aware. When we are aware of our actions, we win, we succeed, we feel better, we rest, we gain energy, we gain perspective, we gain an ability to choose, to make a choice that is going to be beneficial to us. But when we do not pause, we might handle a tool incorrectly and hurt ourselves. When we do not pause, we might say something that we cannot pull back, never, ever pull back. When we do not pause, we might not give people the feeling that we can give them to make them understand you are feeling wonderful, you're great, and you're okay. Pausing makes us forget to say hello. Although we say hi, pausing makes us remember to say, hello, how are you feeling today? You are aware. But if you're not aware, you might just let it fall. Forget to greet that person with a certain amount of dignity. Pausing makes us take care of ourselves. When you turn on the light to enter a room, you can see the light is on. Many times we forget that we need to pause after we turn off the light before we step out of the room. Why should we pause? How many of you can honestly tell me that I can turn off the light in the kitchen, step into the hallway where there is no light on, and I have never walked into the wall, although you've lived in the home for 100 years, or walked into something? But what I notice, if you stop and you pause, less than 30 seconds. Your eye get accustomed to the dark and you will see the shape of the door through which you should enter. Hello, hello. This is life in the house. But let me tell you something. When you pause, you are able to make better decisions. Same thing. I pause after I turn off the lights in the kitchen to walk through the door to the hallway. And then I can see clearly because maybe down the hall has another light. But if I didn't pause, I am telling you, I might walk into the wall and turn. Not aware, the darkness has thrown you up. I can see clearly now the clouds have gone. The songwriter told us that. So when you pause, you are able to do better. When I pause, I'm able to avoid walking through a wall after it's dark. Let my eyes climatize to the dark, right? 30 seconds or less. When you pause before answering a question, you give yourself sufficient time to absorb the question and to answer appropriately. Very great orators to do that. Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, Justin Trudeau, his father before him, and a few others, Nelson Mandela, and Martin Luther King. You know what? If you watch them, when somebody asks them a question, they, in some cases, they actually might pull back. They breathe it in, and the thing they do, they pause, and they might reiterate the question, or they pause long enough to sort it out internally. But when they come to answer the question, they answer it appropriately. They have heard it all. Scripture tells us that. It says, he who answers without hearing the whole thing is a fool. He who did not pause and walk through the wall is a fool. He who rushed to cut off the other driver is a fool. That's what it means. We can align them all. The person has asked you a question and you don't have the answer. You pause. You answer, okay, so what you're saying, I should do a 5-minute pausing after I do everything. Yeah, and then, oh yeah, that's an idea. I think I can maybe do that. You see, if you did not pause, no, I have no time. I cannot spare 5 minutes. And Jay-Z told us that the adult's version of the dog at my homework is that I have no time. We all have time to pause in the moment because when we pause, we become aware. And when we are aware, we win. When we know, we win. We won't walk through a wall. We won't answer the question inappropriately and make us look like fools. Because that's what scripture says. Take your time, pause, breathe. It's not necessary to rush across the street. You know you're going to get killed or hurt. And it's not pleasant, is it? Pausing gives us energy, brand new energy to start and to do this again over and over and to do it well, to polish it. So no matter what you do today, and no matter how challenging and how much you have on your plate today, mentally put pause in between all the tasks you have to do today. You might have to drive to the supermarket, drive to the doctor, drive to the candlestick maker, drive to get this sale or whatever. But when you get back in the car, turn to your console, grab your bottle of water, take a sip, breathe, let your shoulder feel like the mountain, head forward, pause. 3 minutes will not make you miss the sale at another store. 3 minutes will not stop the world from spinning on its axle. It's not. But you have done something. Pause. Look around you. Be aware. You're moving out of a parking lot. More accidents happen in a parking lot than on the highway because everybody's crazy. Stop and pause. It's in pausing that we win. It's in pausing we become aware. And when you're aware, you make better choices. When we lose awareness, we lose the ability to choose for the best thing for us. So take a pause today and see how it works. Be grateful that you can step out. And in gratitude, you're pausing because you have to stop. I was looking at my granddaughter Kylie. You guys don't see much of her anymore. They moved to their own place and she goes to school now. And Kylie saw me writing in my gratitude journal cursive. And she came and she has a journal. She has a gratitude journal. She has a pen. She's there and when Kylie has to write gratitude, she goes to the family. She says, "Let me look at the family picture to see who I'm grateful for." And she saw Auntie Dawn and cousin Michelle, Jen, she's everybody. And her uncle, my son Michael, teases her a lot. He always comes to her since she was a baby. Hey, hey. And so all of a sudden, I look at Kylie's writing in her gratitude journal, and I'm hearing this little voice, which she's trying to write squiggly. She calls cursive squiggly. And she said, "I am not sure if I'm grateful for hey, hey." That's how she calls Michael. But she took the time to repeat it because she was not sure that she was grateful for him. She became aware and made a choice. And she's like 4 at that time. Why don't we pause? Why don't we? It's in pausing we become aware. If she hadn't paused, she would not have made the decision that hey, hey frightens her. So she's not sure she's grateful. So that was her gratitude. It's different from the others because she was grateful for everybody, except hey, hey, she wasn't positive. She took the time to make sure she was. So, guys, here we are. Thank you so much for coming. It is 8:31. It has been an absolute pleasure. Shine Image like the live. Thank you on TikTok. Thank you for doing that. And then here we are on Instagram. Thank you, all wonderful humans. And thank you on YouTube for joining. It has been my pleasure to have you guys today. So let's see what is up for this week. This week, tomorrow at 1 p.m., I'm going to do financial for turbulent times. Prices are going up, 401ks and retirements are going down, savings are going down, but prices are going up, wages are there or maybe not there. Things are changing in our lives. So our finances will take a hit. It's one of the 5 pillars of prosperity, right? So if finances take a hit, I was sure the 5 pillars of prosperity book is over there. If it takes a hit, if our finances takes a hit, we take a hit mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. So the 5 pillars brings that to mind for us that we have to do that. So on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, join me. I'm talking finance. If you have questions, put it in the question and in the comment, and I'll answer your question real time. And on Thursday, I do a YouTube live all about loving you. Love is sensuality. You, the woman, you, the man. Being aware, again, awareness of what is amazing about you and realizing you're worthy of the best and you shouldn't settle. And that is, of course, on Thursday at 12 p.m. And on Saturday, another financial a little conversation again to help. If you have a question, if you're stuck, send your questions beforehand or just let me know what you're thinking. And then on Sunday, we have a self-care show, and it's getting your body ready for summer. I know it doesn't look like it's coming. My friend from Saskatchewan said to me, spring is slow. I said, well, we better give it a hug when it shows up. So this is a busy week for us. Yuko and I, she will be with me on Sunday, and then she comes to see. So come on and join us. And it's all about, if you have a question about getting ready for summer, what you want to do, we do this. We've been doing this for 5 years, and we teach you what we do. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here with me this morning. I appreciate you. I'm grateful for you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon, Thursday and Saturday and Sunday. Have a wonderful and absolutely amazing day. Take care. To pause, just a pause. Bye.